Hey, how's it going? It's Eric. Thanks again for watching my YouTube channel. I really do appreciate it. Today I have a very special guest with me, my friend Johnny, who is a veteran of the United States Navy. And so I guess the reason why I have him on here today is because I do get a lot of questions through Instagram, and you can follow me, by the way, on Instagram right here. I'll put the link. I think I know how to do it this time. Put the link in there. And then I get a lot of questions on Instagram, and so what I've been doing is I've been collecting all the questions from everyone, and I try to find someone, I try to answer them, or I try to find someone that can answer them best. And then so a lot of the questions I did get was, what's it like to be in the military? What's it like going through maps? What's it, what's life like in the military? What's like after the military? And Johnny's like a perfect example, since he was in the Navy. So, so Johnny, why don't you tell everyone,
Sure.
Who you are, what you did, what you're doing now, and we'll go from there.
All right, great. Thanks for having me on your show, Eric.
Yeah.
So my name's John. I was in the Navy in 2010, 2014, and I've been out now for 3 years. The time I had in the military was the best time I've ever had, best experience I've ever had in my life.
A lot of people are telling me that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Yes, best experience I ever had in my life, and of course, if I had the opportunity to go back as an officer, I would do that.
As an officer?
As an officer, I would, yes. Just because I've already seen the enlisted side,
right,
and I like to see the officer side.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, so nowadays I went to school for aircraft mechanics, and now I'm working in the aerospace industry.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So did you join the military right out of high school? Is that kind of how?
No. I had a tough few years out of the
oh, really?
out of high school. Yeah. Yeah, and I partied a lot, and when I was 21, I ended up making the decision to enlist, and I was gonna go Army actually.
Oh, really?
I was, yeah. My dad actually talked me out of it because I'm Middle Eastern, and and he didn't want me to go to Iraq and Afghanistan and participate in that war that way.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I joined the Navy.
Okay. All right on. Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, Navy's. I always thought Navy was cool because, initially I wanted to join the Navy. Remember?
Right.
We were talking
I remember.
about it a lot. So.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Initially, I wanted to join Navy. I went to Navy Junior ROTC, and then I thought I'd join the Navy, and then turned out Air Force kind of came along. So, but anyway, so turned 21.
Turned 21.
Decided to talk to a recruiter.
Yeah. I went into the office. Chief Puel was my recruiter.
Okay.
He's a great guy from the Philippines, and he was the one that guided me through the whole process. He believed in me, and he knew my potential to get in.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys on my YouTube channel are really interested in scoring well on the ASVAB.
Oh, right.
How'd you do on the ASVAB?
Oh, I did terrible.
Oh, really?
I did horrible on the ASVAB, dude.
Did you study, or you just
No, I didn't study. I was extremely naive, and I told my recruiter, "Hey, let me just take the test and see what I get."
Oh, right on.
And so I took the test, and then I got CBs, ABF, ABH, and bosun's mates, BMs. And I didn't think I don't know if I got anything else. I was looking to be an MA, which is a Master at Arms.
Master at Arms, okay.
Or a DC, which is a fireman. But I didn't get either of those jobs. And so I asked my recruiter, and I kind of took the easy way out, and I said, "What's the easiest job in the Navy?" And he said, "Be an ABF, which is an Aviation Bosun's Mate Fuels Division."
Oh, very cool.
And so I became an ABF.
Wow. Right on. So okay, so you got your rate? Is it a rate?
It's called a rate. That's right. Yeah.
So you got your rate. So what was it like? That bus ride up to boot camp?
Oh my goodness! I'll tell you the plane ride first. Dude.
Oh yeah.
The plane ride from LAX to Chicago was the most nerve-wracking experience I've ever had. Because you have all these thoughts and ideas of what boot camp is, and you watch all these videos before, and I think I watched The Guardian, Pearl Harbor, all Coast Guard and naval movies, and then I got myself all jazzed up all the time, and so the plane ride from LAX to Chicago, I was sitting next to a business gentleman of some sort, and I was shaking.
Right.
I was literally shaking in the seat, and he's like, "Hey man, are you all right?"
Oh really?
Yeah. He's like, "Are you all right? Like, why are you shaking so much?" And I told him, "Hey, I'm going to Navy boot camp right now," and he told me, he's like, "Dude, you got nothing to worry about. You're serving our country for a reason, and you have nothing to be nervous about.
Right.
Like, you're just there to get training," and that was it.
Oh,
and
right.
so yeah, he helped me calm my nerves and settle me down.
Very cool. Yeah, because I still have to go through MEPS, but I talk to my wife a lot about, like, you know, oh man, I'm gonna go to boot camp. I'm 38. Like, you know, like, what's it gonna be like? You know, so I can understand the nerves part, because I know I'll be pretty freaking, like, I'm nervous right now.
Yeah, we've talked before about your nerves going into it. I guess the worst thing you should expect is the duck walk in MEPS.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Not the flashlight.
No, not maybe bending over in front
Yeah.
in front of the doctor is a little nerve-wracking as well. But squatting in your underwear with other guys is challenging.
Right. Oh, I bet. Yes. I believe I'm going to MEPS at the end of the month. So that's my last step. And then, right, so you go to MEPS and you do, like, they try to disqualify you, like,
Yeah.
to the end. Right.
I don't know if they try to disqualify you. I really believe they want everybody to go through and serve our country.
Right.
You know, but
Cool. So you're on the plane, and it's in
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. Okay.
Yeah, Great Lakes.
And then so you're off the plane, and is that where you meet your instructors?
So we get off the plane and you walk to through the terminals, and you meet up with the rest of the guys and girls that are going to boot camp. And there must have been 200 of us, maybe. And there's a couple petty officers there. They had their uniforms on, and everybody's like starstruck, staring at these guys in their uniforms, and we're thinking like, yeah, we're gonna be these guys. And
Right.
and these guys are really nice to us. They're being real gentlemen,
Uh-huh.
real nice, right? And so we're thinking, right, we're gonna have a good time. It's not gonna be that bad. And we ended up smoking our last cigarettes in the designated smoking area, and then we ended up throwing all of our cigarettes, lighters, and some random stuff in our pockets into the trash. And we all sit down along the wall in 2 or 3 rows, Indian style, and then we just wait for the bus.
Wow.
And that's when the nerves start really start building up.
Okay, so the nerves are building up. You guys are all sitting down at the airport, and then
That's right.
you meet some of the petty officers.
Right. And I don't remember the names. It's kind of, I barely even remember sitting on the wall, or sitting in India style on the wall. And then all of a sudden the bus comes, nice and slow, and then the petty officer's saying, "All right, guys, here we go." And so they call us row by row, and I think they count us off by like 20 or 30. Somebody could fit in a bus, of course. I forget exactly, the number, what size the bus was, but I ended up getting on the bus and sitting down, and it must have been 10 o'clock at night, so it was pitch black, and I'm sitting on the bus, and everybody's talking a little bit, and I'm just sitting there just like, oh man, here we go. Psyching myself out, of course. Here we go, and all of a sudden, hey, shut up! And I was just like, oh crap. And that's when it really started to set in, and I was like, oh.
That's okay. I'll be good.
That's when it really started to set in, and I was like, this is boot camp. It's starting now. And I just put my head down, and I was like coaching myself to this, you got this, you could do this. You were in wrestling in high school, and that was far worse than boot camp.
Right.
Far worse. So I coached myself it must have been like a 30-minute ride to base. And next thing you know, we pull up on base, and you just see United States Navy boot camp,
wow.
Great Lakes, Illinois, and I was like, yeah, we're doing it, we're doing it. And of course I'm excited,
Right.
and I'm ready to experience it. And then we park right in front of, I forget what hall, but this is where you start your P days, and your P days are processing days. You process into the Navy.
Right.
And so, yeah, and then I believe it was a chief, E7, all khaki, came onto the bus and he started screaming.
Oh, really?
He's like, all right, guys, let's go. Get off the bus. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Just like you see in the movies.
Right,
it's
right.
real.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff's real. So that's exactly what I did. I stood up and I pretty much ran off the bus. I didn't have a bag because I didn't want to ship too much back home.
Right.
I came with the essentials, pants and a shirt. And that was it.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, a lot of people came with backpacks and stuff like that. I don't recommend that because you're going to have to ship all of that stuff home.
Right.
And it's a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a waste. Even though they pay for the shipping, but it's just a waste to have all that stuff on you. It's too much stuff to carry, and you just don't need it. You're not going to need any of it.
Right.
Not even the clothes on your back. Yeah, so, and like I said, so I was ran off the bus and into the hall, and they're guiding us. They're telling us exactly what to do with loud voices, of course, because they want that fear to be instilled in you a little bit, so you start listening.
Right.
And that's the whole point, is listening. All of boot camp is listening. It's very simple. Just listen.
Oh, right on. Okay, I'll remember that.
Yes.
I have no problem listening. I just don't want to mess up.
Right.
That's my biggest fear, is messing up and looking like an idiot.
You know, I'd have to 90%, 99, 100% of us mess up.
Right.
So, yes, you will mess up.
Right.
But they're not gonna. They will scold you for it a little bit. But if you just think about it, the way they're scolding you is just to mold you.
Right.
Into an airman for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. So the initial boot camp experience, looking back on it, how has that affected your life, like, after that?
Oh yeah. So, you know that fear I was talking about that boiled up when I was sitting on the wall? So, in life, for me, and I'm big on personal development now, and I like to read and break my own habits. And so, now that I look back on it and I see that I kept moving towards my fears and walking towards my fears.
Right.
And I think that's what really makes you who you are as a person, is to do things you don't want to do and to move towards your fear and just take one step forward.
Right.
And so that's how it's really impacted me in my life and with the businesses I'm starting.
Right.
It's one step forward into the unknown.
Right.
And then accomplishment.
Very
and then
cool.
the next step. So.
Right on. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, as for me as a civilian, I've always thought so much about, like, oh, I'm gonna join the military, and then, like, fear would come in, and then kind of like, okay, you know, I'd give some kind of excuse, like, why I couldn't do it, like, oh, my job is too good, or you know, I got a girlfriend, or you know, got this cat at home, right, or married, and then, but now it's like, okay, I'm 38. The cutoff is 39. The legitimate cutoff is 39 for active duty.
Right. And that's for Air Force or all branches?
Air Force and Coast Guard.
Okay.
And I think Navy is Navy Reserve only if you want to, if you're going at 39. You
Okay.
want to reserve.
Okay.
And then, because I think active duty is like 36. I don't 100% know the numbers
Okay.
for sure, but I think it's something similar.
I don't know if I told you, but I had a guy in my boot camp division. He turned 40 while he was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. They gave him a little bit of leeway.
Oh, really?
Just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. If any of you guys out there that went to boot camp in 38, 39, let me know, because I want to hear about the experience. Because I mean, I got no problem hanging out with people younger than me. You might not know this, but my maturity level is actually pretty low. So
No, it's not. You're very professional. You are.
But yeah, I would love to hear about that experience. But there are a lot of boot camp videos out there. If you want to hear more boot camp stories or more advice from Johnny on boot camp stuff, I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube channel, which he's going to start putting stuff up.
Yeah.
But we're going to have him on a bunch because I know I'm going to get more questions regarding boot camp and in active duty. And then until I get in, he's going to be our subject matter expert. So
Any questions you guys have, I'm happy to help.
awesome. So you go through boot camp and then you hit the fleet. What's that like?
Yeah.
The first, because when I'm thinking about, like, okay, when I actually get assigned to my first duty station,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna be a nerd. I'm like, oh my god, is that an F-15? Like, oh crap! Like, you know, I love seeing that stuff. Like going to air shows all the
That's
time.
a beautiful thing.
Go to Fleet Week all the time, and
That's
I'm just
right.
like geeking out on all that stuff. So, what was it like for you when you first, you know?
So for me, once I first stepped onto the pier in San Diego and just looking up at these huge ships, there's 2 ships on each side of the pier, and you're walking down the center of them, and they're just monstrous machines that you see in like Transformers, you know?
Right.
They're just huge, huge, these huge boats. And that fear started to come back in.
Right.
Because you're stepping into the unknown, and you don't know what the fleet's about. You know what boot camp was about, and then you knew what A-Skill was about, but the fleet you have no clue, because everybody tells you the fleet's always different.
Right.
The fleet's always different. But in actuality, the fleet's better.
Oh, really?
The fleet's much better. That's when you learn your craft.
Right.
That's when you learn your job. That's when you find that camaraderie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. So yeah, hitting the fleet, that's got to be pretty exciting, right? So you,
Yeah.
So do you get thrown right into your job? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, so just like in boot camp, you have to go through P days, the processing to the Navy. So you do the same similar thing when you get to the ship, or to your command. And so you go through a small process of processing. Maybe takes a couple. Maybe I think if you're fast enough, it takes you a couple days. But I believe your command or your division allots you about a week or so to do it.
Oh, okay.
But don't hold me to that. It's been some time. So. But after you do your processing, you go to personnel, do your banking information and your next of kin, and then you go to medical, do all your medical stuff, and then and during your days you'll check in with your command or your division every so often, and then they'll run you through where things are on the ship or at your command, like where things are, and they guide you in the process of it that first week or so. Okay. Yeah.
Very cool. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer some questions that I've been getting off of Instagram. So we'll see what's out there, if you don't mind answering these questions.
No, not at all, man.
And again,
I'm here for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's for everybody, right? So, and again,
sure.
If you have any questions that you want to ask Johnny, put them down in the comments below. He's going to read them. Or, go on Instagram, shoot me a message, send them there. I'll read them to him. So, okay, so let's check this out. And by the way, here's a little little known fact about Johnny. He was the face of the Navy recruiting.
Oh, right, yeah.
Was it the flyer, the posters, the folders? His face was on that. And
I became a poster boy.
He was the poster boy. So I will put a picture in right here. Hopefully this works. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys a picture of this. So okay, before we get to Instagram, how did that happen? Because I think I was at a recruiter's office and you're like, hey, go check out the picture. I'm in that picture, and he was in it. So
right. So I must have been at my command. I was on the USS Macon Island down to San Diego, and we were going to cleaning station. Every morning, everybody does cleaning station. It's just part of our duties. Like, you either love it or you learn to love it, but you need to love it. Cleaning's our thing. That's what we do in the Navy.
Right.
So every morning we go to cleaning stations, and I'm doing the same old thing every day, and it gets tiring. It does, and frustrating because you join the military to learn your job and to do your job.
Right.
But you don't get to do that. You don't get to do your job as much as you want to do. For me, at least, because I was an ABF, I was on the flight deck, and so we fuel aircraft and out to sea.
Right.
But out to sea or in port, we can't really do that.
Right. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So one day I was walking to my cleaning station, and all of a sudden I see a chief with the camera walk in front of me, and he's like, "Hey, you want to get your picture taken?" He's like, and he told me, he said, "One day you're gonna be a poster boy."
Oh, really?
I said, "All right. Are you sure?" Are you sure? He's like, "Yeah. You want to take a picture?" I said, "Sure." He's like, "Just stand there," right? And I put my cleaning station or my equipment down. I folded my arms and I stood there and smiled.
Oh wow!
And that was it, dude. And I was laughing just like we are now. I was just laughing. And he must have took maybe 10 photos, and I went on my day. And it was So that was the picture was taken around 2011, maybe, beginning 2012 or so, and I got out in 2014, and in 2015, a year that I was out, I get this random text message on my phone of a picture of a Navy folder, you know, or for that it was a Navy folder that new recruits wanting to join the Navy get, right? With all their it was a packet with all the information about the Navy and stuff. And he took a picture of the front of it. I was on the cover, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, who is this? And I see myself, and I'm like, and it was an unknown number. I didn't know I just didn't have the number saved in my phone. I see my face, and I'm like, what? Like, what is this? Like, is someone messing with me?
Yeah.
And so I texted the person back, and I said, bleep this, bleep that.
Yeah.
Like, don't do this stuff. Like, you're not funny. Because I thought somebody did some graphic design work and put me on there. I didn't think it was funny at the time. And I get a text message back. He's like, hey, man, it's ABF one more. And I was like, oh! Like, he's my supervisor.
Right.
And he's the guy that actually brought me to the ship.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I told you I got lost on the way to San Diego, and he found me, and I got, he brought me to the boat, but, so he said it was me. It was ABF one more. I was like, oh, all right. And I was like, where'd you get this at? He's like, dude, you're a poster boy. Like, you're on all these folders, and we give these to the new recruits that are in the DEP program, or, you know? And I was blown away, so I went to the recruiting office down in Torrance, and I picked up like 10 of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a contest where you get a signed one from Johnny.
I don't know if my signature
Score 98
worth it.
on the ASVAB, and you'll get a signed folder from Johnny.
How about this? If you get a 32 or higher, then you get a signed one. Because I got a 31 in my ASVAB.
That's cool, but you got in.
I got in.
You got a cool job, right?
And I busted my ass. And I learned to love my job. That's very cool. That's true.
So we're supposed to go to Instagram, right? So we're going to Instagram.
Right.
I'm going to answer some questions, and let's see how that goes. I'm just going to pull this up because I have some ready. And this one comes from Sean A. And he asked, what was the most proudest moment you had in the military?
Manning the rails.
Manning the rails. Hold on a second. Let me reword that because the English was off. What was your proudest moment in the military?
It's a good question. There's a lot.
Right.
But the most that stands out right now is manning the rails.
Oh, very cool. So that's when you guys are coming into port and then...
Correct.
Okay.
Or exiting and coming in. Yes. We man the rails. To me, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You see crisp uniforms.
Right.
Marine Navy. I was on a transport ship, and you see just line the outskirts of the flight deck, and then up on the island.
Oh, very cool.
It's gorgeous. You know, when you look at the uniform, you think America, and you're proud to serve, right? And every time you look at it, you get the butterfly feelings.
Right.
Or every time you see the guys manning the rails, you get the butterfly feelings, and you just know you have a purpose.
Right.
So that's the most rewarding to me.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Scott B asked on Instagram, did you deploy, and how long for?
Right. I deployed one time just because my ship was new, and we had to go through a bunch of sea trials and certifications before we could go on deployment. The time I got to the ship and the time I was in the Navy, I only went on one deployment. And that length of time was 7 months.
Oh, okay.
Around 7 months, yeah.
7 months at sea. To me, that sounds like a long time to be in the ocean.
It sounds long, but it's really not that bad. Let me explain it a little better. Every ship that's stationed in San Diego goes to Hawaii as their first destination. I think it takes 5 days to get there or so, and you have a chance to get off the boat. So it's almost like a small trial before you go on deployments and larger extensions at sea.
Right.
And so we got to Hawaii. I think it was like 5 days, and then we ended up going to Guam to refuel, and I want to say that was around Don't hold me to it, but it must have been like between 10 and 15 days or so. And then we refueled in Guam. We didn't get off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't get to get off. But then, right after Guam, we left to Singapore.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
Singapore took us 91 days.
Wow. 91
without
days.
seeing land or stopping at land. Yeah,
Wow.
91 days, and that was the longest we've been at sea straight. Was 91 days.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and we actually got a beer day. We can talk more about that later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So, okay. Well, there you go, Scott. That you had a deployment under it, and so I guess being underway for that amount of time can be stressful, or it's kind of you guys like start butting heads. Or?
Everybody butts heads.
Uh-huh.
From the. I'm sure the captain was getting irritated. I didn't get to talk to him that much,
Uh-huh.
you know. But
Yeah.
in my division, it was the bosun down to the chiefs, down to the first classes, second classes, and it came all the way down.
Right.
so there's a lot of butting heads, but then, like I was telling you earlier, is that camaraderie,
Right.
and you learn to just ignore a person's emotions and keep doing on with your daily duties.
Okay, very cool. So this is actually a really good question, and it comes from Aaron P. And Aaron wants to know what is life like for you now that you're out in the military. She wants to know, how is it trying to get a job? Sorry, this is a long question, so I'm just trying to like break it down. Like so, but yeah, so basically, like you get out of the military. So what happens after you have a trade under your belt, and then so what happens next?
Yeah, so for me, when I was getting out, it seemed like I knew going into it I only wanted to do 4 years because I wanted to treat it as like a college education. You go to college for 4 years, typically, and you get out. You come back home. So that's the way I saw it the whole time I was in. Granted, I should have stayed in and ranked up a little bit faster, but I'm very, very happy and pleased with getting out at that time and the way my life is now.
Oh,
and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Right.
So I'm happy I didn't re-enlist. But getting out was easy at first.
Right.
I was so prideful. Had my uniform sitting out, in my room, and I was a veteran now.
Right.
And I had so much pride in me. But once I started applying for jobs, that pride slowly started depleting. Yeah, slowly and slowly. I didn't notice it at first, but I just saw my motivation start going down and down and down and down. And that's when you hear the struggle of veterans getting out of the military and trying to cope with the civilian world.
Right.
And it's because I think of our expectation of what we are almost entitled to, in a sense. But I don't think that's the right way to think about it. It's not entitlement. You're not entitled. You still have to work hard.
Right.
Just like how America was founded on hard work, and
Exactly.
And so that I think that's where I messed up.
Uh-huh.
I expected to get these high-paying jobs, and I didn't get a call back.
Do you think that's something that was common with a lot of the other guys who were coming out too at the same time? I'm sure,
dude. In the military, you're brought up to be a certain level of motivation and pridefulness and for your country, and there's a lot of expectation, and expectation can pull you under.
Right.
It can pull you down. So
cool. So out there grinding, trying to get a job, and then
I gave up, dude. I went to school.
That's right. Oh, you did go to school.
Yeah, I went to automotive school because dude, I need to learn something.
Oh, okay, very cool. So did you use your GI Bill for that?
I did, man. Post 9/11.
Very cool.
Post 9/11 is the best thing. One of the best things about the benefits of joining the military.
Very cool. Yeah, that's something that I'm looking at as something I want to do because while I'm in the Air Force, I definitely want to get my master's degree.
Yeah, buddy.
And then, because I think you go to like I think there's like a community college of the Air Force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure there is.
Do like while you're in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do that, and then when I got out, go back, get some more college, some more education. So.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
They have like a tuition assistance called TA, and so while you're in, you don't have to use your post 9/11. You can just use the tuition assistance.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And
so
when you get out,
you can still use your post 9/11.
Wow.
So take advantage while you're in, and make sure you do schooling.
Right.
Because even if you don't get your master's, you'll be that much closer to getting it when you get out.
Right.
And then you still have the rest of the post 9/11 to do whatever else you want to do.
Wow.
And yeah, to further your career. So.
That is really cool. That is really cool. I'm glad you told me that. 'Cause I was like, I just thought that you can only you get out and then you have your post 9/11 team through school. So.
Well, that was for the Navy. I'm not sure what it is for the Air Force, but I'm pretty sure they have the same benefits package in and out of the military for every branch. So pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Good. Awesome question, by the way. So
that was Aaron.
That was Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron T. And so now Debbie. I'm sorry. So now Debbie on Instagram also wants to know, did you have any older people in boot camp? I think we did talk about it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You said there was someone that was 39.
Then he turned 40.
Wow.
That's right. He turned 40 when I was in boot camp. I don't remember his name, but one of the nicest guys you ever meet.
Right.
Just one of those genuine men. And I believe he was a construction. He was in the construction industry before he joined the reserves. And he was going to be a Seabee, so to continue on with his construction experience. And I want to say it probably benefited him, somehow in his previous job before he went to boot camp. But yeah, he turned 40.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
That's so respectful. Like that's.
And this guy, I believe he smoked a lot of cigarettes. And so his lungs weren't all there. I believe he smoked a lot of cigarettes, and he wasn't in the best shape. But I would say this guy had a lot of motivation, a lot of self-pride, and he worked just as hard as the 18-year-old in boot camp.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So us older guys, we will be just fine in boot camp, from what Johnny's been telling me.
That's right. And you've been working out for years now, man. You had no problem, so don't worry about it.
I'm still old, man. But cool. And then, so we'll do one more question, and
Sure.
So this one just all girls asking these questions. By the way, where are the men? Girls stepping up, joining the military. That's awesome. So, so this one comes from Rita, and Rita wants to know, what do you do now as your day job now that you're out of the military?
Right. That's a great question. So I told you when I got out, I went to automotive school, worked as a mechanic, graveyard shift for a while. That was challenging.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of challenging for me because I told you I was going down, and I ended up going back to school as an aircraft mechanic. And I ended up getting a degree, an AA in aircraft maintenance technology. And now I'm in the aerospace industry.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so I'm building control services for the F-35 and then F-16s.
That's rad.
Yeah, man.
That's so rad.
Yeah, man.
And I'm pretty sure your veteran status, working on those Harriers or feeling those Harriers.
Oh, feeling the Harriers.
We helped out a lot.
I'm sure it did. Yeah.
If you live in Los Angeles, there's a huge aerospace industry out here.
Huge. A lot of opportunity.
Right. A lot of companies specifically looking for veterans that have experience working on these airframes.
Yes.
And they want guys like Johnny. They want people out there like you. If you worked on aircraft or you're a veteran, I'm sure Johnny will answer any kind of questions on job hunting that you probably.
Oh yeah, so, absolutely, yeah.
Let's keep that in mind. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for now.
All right.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And by the way, Johnny is also a business owner. He didn't mention that.
Oh yes.
So when I first met Johnny, he had opened one business, and now he's working on another. This guy's is an entrepreneur.
Trying.
So
Aspiring.
What do you got going on now?
So I'm working on a relish right now.
Right on.
I want to change the relish game a little bit.
Very cool.
and then I want to do more. I want to touch more people and provide value to people.
Right on.
And that's veteranmindset.com.
Very cool. So that's like a website.
So it's almost like a motivational website, and I just really want to tell people that anybody can make it.
Right.
Through the power of habit changing and reading and self motivation.
Right.
And in personal improvements, like anybody can do anything they want in this world. And that's kind of what I want to show everybody. So
very cool.
Yeah, man.
So it's veteranmindset.com, and I'll put a link to your site.
Sure. Thank you.
Right here.
That's nice, man. Thank you very much. I'm big into reading, so if you guys like reading, please enjoy.
Yeah, we've been exchanging books. Like, it's weird. When I was growing up, I didn't read.
Yeah, me either. I didn't
read, right? So,
yeah, man.
But yeah, now I'm trying to read a lot. So you've been giving me some like really great recommendations.
Yes, Tony Robbins.
Oh man, it's so awesome.
And thank you for Jocko.
Man.
Yeah, man.
That book changed my life.
You gotta have extreme ownership.
Exactly.
That's part of it.
Yeah. Discipline equals freedom. That's
for sure.
We'll talk about that one day, because I know that if I discipline myself now in the military,
yes,
when I get out, I'll have more freedom.
Oh my goodness, you will, buddy.
So,
and you doing your channel right now. It's a step forward too. So
yeah, it's just been cool. A lot of cool people watching it, man. Like they just want to get better at doing the ASVAB or whatever. So
and that's all it is, man. It's improvement. That's all improvement is, just wanting better, and that's what I've found in my life.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being on, Johnny.
Hey, you're welcome very much, man.
So we're gonna continue. We're gonna have a beer. Thanks for you guys for watching. If you have any questions, go down in the comments below. Hit the like button, subscribe. And if you're in the bathroom right now, it's not a toilet. Someone out there is, I know it. Leave a comment below, and I'll try to get you an ASVAB book if you are. So, anyways, I'm Eric, as Johnny, and I'm out.